As objectively horrible as it is, to cover a doubleheader, nevertheless a spring training doubleheader, which I've covered baseball for 5 years, been a BBWAA member for 4 years. This is new territory for me. As objectively horrible as it is to cover 2 games in the middle of March, I've always enjoyed doubleheaders in like a really weird way. I think mainly because of the shared suffering, and there's just no way you come out of a doubleheader, no matter how normal it is. There is no normal when it comes to a doubleheader. No matter what happens over the course of a doubleheader, you come out of it as a changed person. It feels like every doubleheader that I covered during my time on the Pittsburgh Pirates beat was lunacy to some degree. There was the time when Roberto Perez, no, let me backtrack. There was the time when Forever Giant Andrew Knapp got ejected from the dugout for arguing balls and strikes. He wasn't even playing that day. Roberto Perez proceeded to, I think he tore his quad, which ended up being a season-ending injury, which forced Josh Van Meter, an infielder, into emergency catcher duty. There was the doubleheader in St. Louis that had a first pitch temperature of 100 degrees, and Jason DeLay, the catcher that day, told me that who was making his debut, told me that he was going to pass out. There was the doubleheader in Pittsburgh. I think they were playing the Reds, where 3 coaches got tossed in the span of a minute, and I think the quote from Derek Shelton at the time was the home plate umpire just started tossing people. This is all to say, doubleheaders have provided some of the most memorable moments of my time covering baseball, for better or for worse. But anyhow, a lot of Giants baseball to get into from today, given the fact that we've been at the stadium for approximately 11 to 12 hours. I'll try to run through some of the main points here. We're just finished up the spring breakout game here where the Giants prospects tied with the Rangers prospects 5-5. A notable omission from this game was first baseman and top prospect Bryce Eldridge, who has been dealing with a left wrist issue, and this wasn't something new. He was actually been dealing with this for the better part of 2 weeks. I think he said that he hasn't been doing baseball activities for 2 weeks, and prior to that, he'd been kind of dealing with the issue for roughly a week and a half. He did swing today. He told us he wasn't swinging at 1,000%, but he did swing. He isn't sure if he's going to be able to be ready for the start of the minor league season. He's also not sure if he's going to start the season with AA Richmond or AAA Sacramento. That's something that we'll keep tabs on in the coming weeks. Outfielder Dakota Jordan, the 4th-round pick of the 2024 draft, he did not play as well. He was dealing with a wrist issue, though he did tell us a funny story about the night he got drafted. He was actually at a Japanese restaurant, ordered his food, and in the middle of eating his food finds out that he had been drafted, and he just lost his appetite entirely as a result of that. Jung-Hoo Lee was scratched from the Major League game where the Giants beat the Seattle Mariners 5-2. It was a back issue, which, back issues can be finicky. It wasn't because of a swing. It wasn't because of a throw. He just simply woke up. Back wasn't in a great spot, and that was that. They don't expect it to be anything on the major side. One of the more interesting developments from today is that we had the opportunity to talk with Pablo Sandoval, and Justin Verlander, of course, is a member of this team. And so that question naturally was going to come up. And Pablo definitely, I don't think we were going to expect Pablo to brag about it in any capacity, but he definitely took the high road with it. And I'll put the exact quote up here. But he said when you have respect for someone as much as he has for Verlander, he's not going to bring it up. So I really doubt that conversation between those two is going to happen anytime soon. As far as the main game itself, a lot of power being shown between some of the main guys in the Giants lineup, which before Lee got scratched, it actually looked like it could have been a close approximation to what the Giants' opening day lineup might look like. Elliot Ramos hit his first home run of Cactus League play. Willie Adames and Gerard Encarnacion hit their second. Logan Webb went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs, none of which were earned. Very uncharacteristic game for Matt Chapman, having 2 errors in 1 inning, and then Logan Webb had a throwing error of his own. As far as the spring breakout game, Carson Wisenhunt went 3 innings, had 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. I got you. I'm wrapping it up right here. Jabes Tibbs, the first-round pick in the 2024 MLB draft, had an RBI single. The Giants at one point were down 5-0. They end up tying the game 5-5. And the last note from today is that when we asked Eldridge if there was anybody in the Giants system who may have been slept on, he had mentioned Sabine Ceballos, who ended up having 2 RBIs on a double.